As long as you understand what they are, then you can build a system around you that compensates. Now, if you never do a SWOT analysis on yourself, all bets are off and you're going to, like you're just going to go bumbling through life. But if you don't do that, like if you actually stop and do that and you understand what your strengths and weaknesses are, well, then you can compensate for all the weaknesses and then you can freaking double down on the strengths, whatever those happen to be. And you can absolutely succeed. I wish someone had slapped me over the head when I was 17 and told me that, because I would have spent a lot less time trying to be something I wasn't.
I'm with you. So when kids come to our school, they get a love language assessment.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
They get a learning style assessment.
Mm-hmm.
They get a few other assessments too. What's amazing is we teach them how to learn how to learn.
That's awesome.
Unlike nobody does this in school, not even in college. Like if you get your PhD, you might learn how to learn. But reading a book and taking a test is not life.
Mm-mm.
Understanding how to read properly and take notes or highlight, or the processes on the systems that we run on.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody, from my opinion, I had to learn it by thinking about, wow, how am I actually learning? So we do this all the time now with kids starting in 6th grade, and we figure out how to help them understand themselves, because it's an understanding of oneself to be able to then take ownership of that foundational piece.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I would have killed for that. I didn't stumble across the DISC test, love languages, any of that stuff until I was in my late 20s into my early 30s. Even though I'd been reading business and personal development books since I was a teenager, which is hilarious. Like there was just certain things that I didn't get access to. Like I kicked myself for the fact that it wasn't until like 2014 that I read any of Dan Kennedy or Jay Abraham or any of that stuff. I'm like, holy cow, how did I miss out on this? Like they were around when I was a teenager. Other people I know read their stuff when they were a teenager. So I love that. I love that approach, because to me, that's what's missing. Like if there's anything that's going wrong in the world today, it's the fact that the education system has gotten so off track, and it's so insanely broken with no way back. To me, the future is getting out of that broken system and figuring out a way to teach people how to learn and love learning.
So you have to see our school at some point. Where are you based out of?
San Diego.
Okay, cool. So you don't have school choice in Florida or in San Diego. We do in Florida. Mm-hmm. And you have charter schools, but not school choice, which is like they pay our private schools now from the state, because we serve kids. And what we're able to do with digital online learning. I have a kid that graduated last year in June. No, last December. And I think he was from Guatemala, came here at 13 years old, doesn't hardly speak English still today. They kept him back in class to try to teach him English. His brain just doesn't work like that. 19 years old, he graduated, has a job, starting a company. The kid is passionate, creative, on it. Like, I mean, I couldn't ask for anything more from a kid like this. It's a good human that wants to do good for the world and serve his family. Mm-hmm. So it's just interesting how we've been creating people to take a test, but we haven't been creating good humans. Like, how does this even make sense if we're, I don't know. I mean, it's super backwards, and we're putting, like, I got assessors working with my whole team today. Every kid that comes in now we're going to make sure they have health insurance. Their family has health insurance. They have housing. They have, buses if they need, if they don't have cars, whatever those things are that are missing, not just with the kid, but with the family, because there's an impact level. So it's pretty crazy. But I'm excited.
If I could wave a magic wand and there's one structural or legal change I could make, that would be it. It'd be unconditional school choice and zero restrictions on education, right? So like I was homeschooled, but that's not a good solution for most people. Like my mom was a stay-at-home mom. And even at that point, like it was like once I hit 7th grade, I was like on my own. So I literally had, like, it was a good thing I had learned how to learn, because the rest of the time I was on my own. That's not a good solution for most people. So homeschooling is not, like, it's part of the answer, but it's not the answer for most people. Yeah. To me, there has to be, like, you've got to have school choice, and beyond that, like just a rollback of regulations that allow families to band together, pay a tutor get access to the best video-based learning and stuff like that with a tutor to help supplement and stuff like that. Like, let's just give families the opportunity to band together and do, I don't know what you call them, micro schools, or it's like hybrid homeschooling, like group homeschooling. But yeah, I mean, the fact that we've trapped people, especially the most disadvantaged kids, into the worst schools, I mean, that should be a blight on our country's history to begin with. And the fact that we continually lock people in, knowing full well that's happening, while there's other solutions out there like yours and other people that are trying to do something good. And the solutions are there. And it's not an economic problem. Like, I guarantee you, your schools are less costly in absolute terms than a publicly funded public school. So anyway, yeah, to me, that's where I would wave the magic wand, is just roll back the regulations and let people compete, because people like you are going to step into the gap and go, hey, I think I've got a better way, and give parents a choice of where they send kids, depending on what their values are.
I like how you get hyped up on this topic. It's a good topic for me. I love it too.
I could talk about education. Yeah.
What most people don't understand is, and this is the fundamentals of education, is that education is funded by the local tax on real estate. So if you have a lower socioeconomic area with houses that are selling for 50,000 versus places that are selling for 5 million, there's less tax dollars, and less tax dollars means less education, quality, maybe educators, whatever. My thought is we have to pay educators more in those areas. We have to bring more opportunity. We don't want multi-generational poverty. No. At least I don't. Some people do. I don't want multi-generational foster care or people in jail. I don't want, there's things that I don't personally want, because two parts. One, I love to see kids out there playing and having fun and going through hell and, families breaking up and whatever over situations and financial. Like, I've never been in that place where I had my parents, they couldn't feed me per se, but I know kids that I am around, and we waive fees and we do whatever we can do financially to serve kids. Like, I had a kid last year, 6th grade. He was he was homeless, living in his parents' car, and so it's just like my heart goes out, because I've never been there, but I can feel it. Like, I can feel that hurt, like that helplessness at some point. But that's a whole different topic. We'll do another podcast on that. Bro, I know we're almost at our time. Can you plug where people can go check you out? Because I know they're going to love what you're up to. I love that you guys have online events. And like you had an event. I just saw your website. You can go register, check you guys out, get some support on getmicrofamous.com.
Yeah, I was going to say, because, that's the best place to go, because from there you've got links to the book, links to the podcast. I mean, obviously you can get the book on Amazon, and that'd be super helpful. But yeah, those are the two best ways to just learn more about kind of the MicroFamous approach. Push back against the pressure to be everywhere and be everything to everyone, because it's not helping introverts. It's making us miserable. It's ruining introverts' lives, as I like to put it. It's definitely time to end all of that pressure. Just to grow something, just to grow a business or grow the life that you want. You don't have to do those things. Don't have to be something different. So if people take that away, I'll be happy. But yeah, I'd love to see people go grab the book or start listening to the podcast.
I appreciate it. I'm going to send this to my business partner so that she can download the book. And then I'm also going to send it to my fiance, because we're doing we had our son 3.5 months ago. He's the most cute little ball of love in the world. And we're going to do a parenting online course so she can read this while she's around. And we're going to build an online for parents. Parents don't know how to be parents. Like,
that is true.
It's freaking nuts. I'm like, and the biggest challenge is having a baby and being a parent is like, what questions to ask, how. So we've created this whole list of questions on, like, when you go into the hospital, when you see an OBGYN, when you're having a baby, after the baby, about education. Like, we're creating this whole framework that parents can go ask their doctors, well, what about this? Why this? Because they get suckered into a bunch of crap that doesn't make sense. I know. I love it, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you for your time today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And if you're ever out in South Florida, I'd love to take you out to lunch, or when I'm in San Diego sometime, it'd be a blessing.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
You guys check out getmicrofamous.com. My name is Daniel Puder. You're watching, listening to Significance Breed Success every Tuesday on my social media. Check out significancebreedsuccess.com or danielpuder.com for more episodes and amazing rock stars that are impacting, changing lives, creating economic development, and helping you stay focused to create your dreams. See you guys.